combine everything I give you and you apply it, there's no way you can't make at least $500 to $1,000 a week. I just don't see it. Look, if you Google it, there's close to 1 billion iPhones in circulation. And that's not including the new 15. We're in March, right? We're a couple months away from the new release of the 15.
Welcome back to my page, Money Making Juggernaut. I'm your host, Eric Richardson. Today, we have a great video in store. I am here with Jeff. He is going to reveal a way that you guys can actually make money just by selling iPhones. Now, it might seem kind of bizarre, but you guys know on this channel, I'm providing you guys with valuable information, input from others as well on how you guys can actually earn money in unique ways. So Jeff, go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what it is that you're doing.
What's going on, guys? Thank you once again for having me on. As you guys know, my name is Jeff, 29 out of Miami, and I've been phone flipping or wholesaling for about 6 years now. So pretty much what I'm about is buying phones from as many people as possible through the marketing strategies that I apply on a regular basis. And I collect those phones using cash in hand to pay these individuals. And then I ship them overseas or to a national wholesale buyer in the US. So that way I'm able to buy low and resell to a wholesale buyer for a higher profit margin. And the beautiful thing about this business when you're dealing with a wholesale buyer is that you're not limited just to one phone. So many people who look into the phone flipping business typically will go on YouTube and they'll get advice to go on OfferUp, Craigslist, or eBay, or you can't buy phones that are iCloud locked or carrier locked, things like that, right? Well, with the wholesale buyers, you can buy iCloud locked phones. You can buy phones that are financed, that aren't paid off. I had the other day a customer that owed money on a 13 Pro Max for T-Mobile. They didn't finish paying the phone off. I gave them $400 cash for it. And I flipped it for $6. I made $200 profit off a phone that you normally typically couldn't buy and resell the normal way, how people would do if they're eBay resellers. So by having this wholesale buyer, you have that advantage to make more profit off phones you typically couldn't buy. So that's what the whole business is about, buying phones and then reselling them to the wholesale buyers.
Yeah, I can definitely see how that's a good market. There's many, places, not only in America, across the world that, have phones that are selling for a higher rate, and wholesaling anything nowadays is the best way to, make money. You get something for a low amount and you sell it for a higher amount. So that's very interesting that you were talking about buying these phones that still have a payment on it. So in that scenario, do you just give them cash to pay off whatever they owe on the phone? And then because you're selling it for a higher rate, you're going to make that profit regardless.
Yeah, so the whole thing, it's not our concern or our business. That's their credit. They're aware that there's something on the phone that they still owe on. It doesn't affect us. We don't have to pay it off. That's their problem. We just give them the value of what that phone is worth under that condition. If it's carrier locked, if it's whatever the case may be, we pay them what the condition is of that phone. And the good thing about it, a lot of people may wonder, well, how do you appraise the phone correctly? How do you know what to pay? So with the wholesale buyers, my guy, he sends me a list and it says, hey, look, we're buying iPhone 7 through iPhone 13 Pro Max today, or not today, but in general, forever. And they'll tell me, okay, if it's grade A, if it's grade B, if it's carrier locked, if it's cracked, if it's damaged. I mean, any scenario that a phone could potentially be messed up or non-messed up, they buy it on, they give you a price. So you know exactly how much to pay your customer. So there's no way you could ever lose money. Because if I'm your buyer and I tell you, listen, I'm going to give you $300 for that iPhone 13 that's locked to AT&T. I know I'm gonna give him $300 because my buyer's gonna give me $400. I'll make $100 profit off of it. So look, it's not a business that requires a whole lot of brains. I'm not the most intelligent individual in the world. I just know a system that works. Buy these phones for a lower price, and I know exactly who to offer them off to at the end. So simple. And I want to mention one thing because a lot of people always ask me, hey, I want to get into the phone flipping business, but I live in a rural area, or I'm disabled, or I'm not someone who's comfortable meeting up with people in public. What's an alternative method? Well, there's something called the mail-in process, where me personally, I'll run ads nationwide across all 50 states. And then I'll have people who view my ad that are on Facebook or Instagram contact me to sell me a phone. I'll give them a quick appraisal. They say, okay, perfect. How do we do the transaction? I tell them, make me an invoice on PayPal. It's very important that you mention PayPal because no one in the right mind is going to just ship you a phone without knowing who you are. But if you use PayPal, you're going to be protected, buyer seller protection. So that's one thing you can do. So I want to say to your viewers, anyone out there that feels limited, You don't have to be limited. You could do this method, the mail-in method. And it's crazy because the CPM, the cost per message, when you're running national ads, drops down drastically, rather if you're running them locally. I'm talking about like 40, 50 cents a CPM. But anyways, that just goes to show you that you could do this business pretty much anyway, anyhow.
That's good. So what are some, typical numbers for somebody first getting started in this business?
So typically what I see in my program with a lot of my students is 500 to 1500 bucks a week. It depends on the individual. So you can make 500 to 1500. Is not hard because each phone that you're picking up, you're making roughly $100 profit a phone. And the good thing about it is that you don't need a high startup cost. Me personally, I started off with 400 bucks. I can go buy an iPhone. I could go right now buy an iPhone 11 locked to T-Mobile for 100 and go resell it for 250. I can go grab an iPhone 8 Plus for what, 100, resell it for 180. An Apple Watch Series 4, I can grab it for 80, resell it for 160. So this is just examples of how you can start off little and end up in a bigger position. So you don't need a whole lot of capital, and the profit margin is so high that it's going to be easy for you to stack up and make 500 or an extra 1500 bucks a week. It's not difficult.
Awesome. So if you could break this down into like a 5-step process, what would that look like?
So a 5-step process would be this. I log onto my computer. I run a Facebook paid ad. I let that ad run for about a week, nonstop without touching it. The ad will automatically deliver the ad to everyone. I sit back and just wait for the calls to come in. That's literally it. I post the ad. People contact me. Hey, I want to sell you a phone on the app. I say, okay, I ask them a series of questions. Is it unlocked? Is it paid off? In good condition? How many gigabytes? Et cetera, et cetera. Whatever they say to me, I give them a quote. We arrange a time and a place to meet up. Starbucks, McDonald's, Dunkin' Donuts, inside a public location, always. And then I inspect the phone. I run the IMEI, make sure everything is good, and I give them the cash, and I'm out. Later on, make a quick invoice on PayPal, ship it out to my buyer the same day. I get paid within 2 to 3 hours, depending.
Okay, awesome. So when you are meeting up with these individuals, for somebody that's new starting in this business, in your course, do you teach them exactly what they're going to be looking for when they're inspecting these phones?
Exactly. So I give you guys a 7-step process and what to look out for. It's so important that you guys follow this to the T, because one miscalculation could affect your profit. The good thing with this business is that if you do mess up, well, you're not liable to lose all your profit. So there's times where I wasn't paying attention. I'll give you an example. I bought an iPhone 12 Pro Max iCloud lock. I paid him 300. And when I look at it, it's really an 11. And I'm so dumb because I've been dealing with phones for such a long time. The 11 has an oval body frame. The 12 Pro Max has that square frame, right? And I wasn't paying attention. I didn't look at it. And because of that, I lost money on that. I didn't lose. I probably made about 100, 150 off it. I didn't make it, but that's how much they gave me for it. So I lost money on the deal. But nonetheless, I didn't go bankrupt. I didn't go zero. I didn't lose everything. It wasn't a definite loss. But yeah, so I give you guys the process of what to look out for. How to determine if they're fake or clone phones is very important. We don't want to get finessed. I'm gonna give you an example. In order to figure out if a phone's a clone phone, you're gonna go to the Apple Store, the App Store. You're gonna click on it. If an Android logo pops up, then you know it's obviously not real, because iOS cannot be duplicated. It cannot be hacked. It cannot be cloned. You can't finesse it and try to put an Apple iOS on an Android system. It doesn't work. So that's how you know it's fake. Another way is if you go to settings, if you go to the IMEI and you look at the IMEI, if all 15 numbers are clustered together, it's fake. It has to be separated, the numbers. But those are just some of the examples as how you'd be able to tell if it's a fake phone. If you hit the Apple Store app and it pops up Android, or if the IMEI is clustered. So those are things that I'm going to be showing you, as well as the IMEI checker. The IMEI checker lets you know if the phone's reported lost, stolen, unlocked, locked to a carrier, blacklisted, whatever the case may be. And when using this IMEI checker, I'm going to teach you how to use it as leverage against your customers. I'll give you an example. Some guys told me 212 Pro Max is 512 gigabytes unlocked. I had offered him 750, right? I gave him 750 for the first phone. The second phone, identical. I check it. Everything is perfect. But when I run the IMEI, it comes back as replacement device. In theory, that doesn't mean anything. It just means the phone was just refurbished or whatever, but the wholesale buyers do not care about that. I told them, listen, your phone is a replacement device. I can add Apple Care. I can add any type of insurance. If something happens, I'm screwed out of the phone. It may have aftermarket parts, non-genuine Apple parts. since it's been a replacement device. For that very reason, I cannot give you 750, but I'll give you 650 for it. And I was able to make an extra $100 profit using that as leverage. When
Mhm.
all in all, it doesn't even matter. The buyers don't care if it's like that. If it's reported replacement device, it is what it is. But those are techniques that we use to get people. But
Okay,
nonetheless, I'm going to run down through the whole process in the course on how you guys can use every scenario to your advantage.
awesome. And you help them with the marketing strategy as well. Now, do you help them with the end buyers also? Because that's usually the toughest part for any type of wholesale business.
Yes, sir. So I give them 2 wholesale buyers. These
Okay.
wholesale buyers will provide them with a list, their contact information, very easy to reach out to them. I offer free mentorship in my course. So you guys are able to reach out to me 7 days a week, just no later than 8 p.m. And I'll be able to assist you and help you guys out in any way you need. Because the whole point of my program is to get you on board with Facebook paid ads. Remember, Facebook paid ads can promote any business, not just iPhones. Once I teach you guys how to run the the Facebook paid ad correctly, you're going to be able to use that for any business. So nonetheless, give me the video, how to run Facebook paid ads, Craigslist, 2 local marketing strategies. You combine everything I give you and you apply it. There's no way you can't make at least $500 to $1,000 a week. I just don't see it. Look, if you Google it, there's close to 1 billion iPhones in circulation. And that's not including the new 15. We're in March, right? We're a couple months away from the new release of the 15. They're going to come out with 4 models.
Yeah.
That's not including the new Apple Watches, the new iPads, the new MacBooks. So when you look at the grand scheme of things, Apple products is in the billions. Samsung devices as well. So guys, listen, get motivated because there's money in this. People just don't know about it. Me
Yeah.
personally, I go to Colombia and I off phones wholesale overseas to Brazil, Venezuela, Colombia. That's the next level. You guys, that should be your goal. Okay, I want to do what Money Man Jeff is doing. I know he started off locally, flipping phones in the US. I want to be able to broaden my horizons and make way more money and get those overseas connections because it's not difficult. You just got to know the blueprint to the business. That's why you have me. Once you have that and you have a steady plan, you're getting phones consistently within a year or two, I can personally put you on to overseas wholesale buyers, wherever you want. I got them in Hong Kong. I got them in Dubai. I got a whole strip of them in Miami. So this is perfect for someone who really wants to expand because it's not just a little game where you do phone flipping. You think you're just playing with the phone. No way. There's money in this business. It's not hard to make 6 figures. I mean, I'm not rich, but I do well for myself. So I want to encourage everyone, if you want to make changes to your life, something that's easy, doable in your own time, something that doesn't require a lot of brain power. This is it. This is the perfect opportunity for anyone who wants to get started.
Yeah, and what would be the typical startup cost? Because I know you're paying for these phones like in person, meet up with cash. If somebody's mailing in, you're giving them funds through, PayPal, stuff like that. How much do they need to start off?
So starting off, all you need is roughly anywhere, I'd say about $300. Obviously, you could do with less, but I say 300 because you need to keep in mind the ad cost. Even if you were to run, let's say $100 a week for Facebook paid ads, that's $20 a day going Wednesday through Sunday. That's what I always recommend to everyone. Do it Wednesday through Sunday, $20 a day. It's $100 a week. At $20 a day, you'll convert about 13 messages, probably about close to about 2 phones, say $200 a day. So $100 towards a week towards marketing, $200 to start buying phones because you could focus on lower end models. And if we want to really get into it, in the ad creation, the ad setup in Facebook paid ads, I can help you only look out for certain phones. So you're not getting messages from people who want to sell you something that's out of your budget. So we're going to be focusing on phones that are just within your budget. So you could go buy, like I said, an iPhone 11, $100, resell it and make 150 profit. So guys, anywhere from 100 to $100, you're good to go. Believe me.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And then you have a course that's going to tell them step by step, get them, ready to go. Is this lifetime access course or is there a time limit to this? How does it work?
It's unlimited access. It's forever. You always have access to it. The good thing about the program is it's 3 hours long. all in video format. Just watch what I do and apply it to your end. If you got to watch it 100 times, watch it 100 times. If you got to call me 100 times, call me 100 times. That's what the free mentorship is for. That's why I have that Facebook group chat with over 400 members. So you could connect with other people who are in my course, see what they're making. Because a lot of people in my program, they share what they pick up. Yo, guys, what's up? I just picked up 5 phones. So that serves as encouragement, because if other people are doing it in the course, why can't you? So I have
Exactly.
this whole system set up that makes it bulletproof. You cannot fail. You only fail yourself if you don't try. That's it.
Exactly. Yep, the same way with my course, man. Awesome. So thank you for sharing that, guys. His information will be in the description. So make sure you guys check it out. And we got to get to this money.